Hello everybody, Daniel here, and welcome once again to Showdown Sunday. The last of them that's actually going to take place on a Sunday. We got an extravaganza week coming up, so there's going to be a lot of teams. But we've got a new team right here, and this is my first attempt ever at a Sun team. I do not use Sun teams, by the way. I'm got next to no experience with them, so this is what I've kind of just gone for here. Naturally, with a Sun team, you have to have the Ninetales to set the Sun, but I decided to take my own spin, and I've actually got a Fire Gem and Covet on it. If you don't know what Covet is, essentially that lets you steal an item if you have none. So I launch off a Fire Blast, and then I go for the Covet. Because of this, I'm not really sure how my Ninetales set is going to look like, because I could, say, net a choice item or a leftover, so it's got a very mixed moveset, Hidden Power Fight, and a Toxic, and of course a Fire Blast. I then have a standard Fortress, because it is a Sun team, we have to have Rapid Spin and Stout Rock support. We need those on it. Got the Gyro Ball, my thing as well. We've got our Victini here, the standard Trick Room Victini that I like to use. Also decided to give this one U-turn, just in case we need it really, and it also kind of helps with a couple of Psychic types. It might just get a bit of extra damage on them. Very situational, but it works. The main move here is V-Crate, of course, because V-Crate in the Sun, it's gonna do a lot of damage, guys. It's pretty freaking amazing. Next Pokemon we actually stole from the last video. I like that Cobalion set so much that, yeah, I did outright steal it. I'm hide no shame in it. It was actually a brilliant Cobalion set, and I'd never seen the likes of it. Apparently you guys were all saying in the comments that it's quite regular for a Cobalion to use that kind of thing. I had no experience because it's a Cobalion, you don't see him that much in OU. So we've now got it, and it should be doing well as SD, Substitute, Ironhead, and Sacred Sword. We also have a Calm Mind Latias. I just thought I wanted to try that out. I'm kind of a bit tired of using Jirachi all the time, and I thought it'd be good because it has Levitate as well. And then we have a standard Choice Scarf Salamence, just because we really need one. The idea with this Sun team and the take I've kind of gone for is that it doesn't heavily rely on the Sun. It does to an extent, the main one being the V-Crate on Victini, but apart from that it can perform quite well without the Sun, and it's more so anti-metagame than anything, I guess, because the Latias is great in general against water teams, and in the Cobalion itself, if there's a sand team and there's a Tyranitar or something, it performs very well against that. So there's not too much of a heavy reliance on the Sun, but it does help, it really does. So we're going to jump on into the first game. And right off the bat, we have got a standard looking sand team, bar this Herdier here, or wait, is it Herdier? Oh god, I can never remember some of the 5th gen Evos. Well, we've got the Yorkshire Terrier that it gets the Sand Rush abilities. That's going to be speedy as hell, dear god. Probably a standard bulky Jellicent and a Heat Rat and Core. That's probably his defensive side of things. I'm going to guess that Tyranitar is probably like a Stout Rocks or something. I'm not really sure what that set's going to be considering everything else in his team. That's definitely the speedy Yorkshire Terrier that's going to wreak doom and havoc upon us. We've got a Scizor here as well. It's probably wants a Swords Dance in some way. And strangely we got a Mew here, and Mew's always very difficult to predict because it's a Mew. It can learn pretty much anything and can have pretty much any moveset, so I'm really not sure about this team. But with all that said and done, what are we going to lead with here? He's probably going to want to lead with his Tyranitar or something, or just possibly predicting something of mine to lead with. He's not going to do that. I'm probably just going to go straight for the Fortress. As long as he doesn't switch out, we'll lead with the Heatran. I'm generally okay here. If he leads with a Mew, then dear god, I'm going to have to switch because probably has a Flamethrower or something. We should be okay here. He's actually just going to want to lead with the Tyranitar. Now, I've really got to scout this guy first, see what he actually wants to do, because he could actually have the Fire Blast. And this does present a bit of a problem with this team, because the Tyranitar with a Fire Blast, and depending on the rest of its moveset, I've got none that really takes it all that well. My special wall is my Latias. I don't want to switch in the Tyranitar in case he's got Crunch, near suicidal. It's really not a good option there. So we're probably going to have to do... See, I'd love to switch in my Ninetales in this, but having the Sun, it's going to power up the Fire Blast just an annoying amount, really. So I'm actually going to go straight into my Salamence, play a bit aggressive. Now, thankfully, there's nothing on his team. Well, okay, well, the Mew has Levitate, but thankfully, there's... Wait, does the Mew have Levitate? Oh, God, what am I doing? I'm straying. Oh, no, I've lost in thought. No, Mew has Synchronized. It does not have Levitate. Oh, God. Well, that was a horrible start. Dear God. Okay, well... I'm going to guess some sort of locked-in variant then, so I'm going to go straight for my Cobalion here. I'm going to go for the Substitute because he's definitely going to want to switch out. He does not want to stay in this thing because Fighting type move is way too obvious, so we can kind of really scout what he wants to do next thanks to our sub. If he switched... Oh, actually, wait, he's got the Jellicent. Oh no, I just thought that through. Cancel! Oh god, I just thought that through there. He does have the Jellicent, and the Jellicent is going to be problematic because it does really wall this Cobalion set. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm actually going to switch out to my Fortress And we're going to see what he does here. Okay, so he's actually running the Protect, so he's not locked into anything. This tells me that he's got kind of like a mixed variety set, so he potentially does have the Fire Blast on it. I'm just going to go straight for the Gyro Ball. He can kind of stay in as well. He's going to just go for another Stone Edge. That's fine. That's a really slow Tyranitar. Dear God. And this is really not going well, is it? Oh God. Okay, let's get up some Stealth Rocks. Maybe we can just have them there, I guess. This guy's... I don't know what he's going to want. He actually went for the counter. This is a weird Tyranitar that's going on now. And I've got no idea what he's going to want to do now. He's got counter, Protect, and Stone Edge. His last move has to be Crunch. It would be kind of weird if it wasn't. So with all that in mind, probably the best thing for me to do is definitely the Cobalion, because he really probably doesn't have the Fire Blast here. So this just works wonders, and he doesn't know that I've got sub on this yet because we didn't reveal it. So this is an ideal time, because he probably might just go for the Protect the Scout, what I want to do once again. Sure enough, that's exactly what it's going to do. So we actually have this really nice sub here now, so that is fantastic. Now he does have the Jellicent, which is still incredibly problematic. There's not much I can really do against that. He is going to have to switch though, which is the nice thing for our advantage. So even if he does go to the Jellicent, which he probably is going to do, we can probably get a SD Iron Head off on him, which will deal a nice amount of damage to him. He's probably then going to try and break me with a Scald and then possibly just kind of get burns off on me. Sure enough, he's just running the standard leftover set. So let's just go for an Iron Head. We may even be kind of get a bit lucky here, get the flinch. I'm not really banking on it though, like I don't really need to. But we just need to get off as much damage as we can on this thing. Oh, we actually got a... Oh! Crit flinch. Oh, I really feel bad about that. He forfeit. Oh God. Okay, well, who can blame him? That was just like his one counter to this thing on his team. Everything else was just gonna die off. Oh God. Hacks happens. Hacks just happens. There's nothing you can do about it. Let's go for another game. And we have got our next game, and this is a really standard OU team. Dear God, that screams OU. So probably especially defensive heat round of some sort. I'm going to guess a Scarf Salamence is what they kind of run. Possibly a Scarf Terrakion. One of them is Scarfed, okay? Calling that right now. We've got a very annoying Breloom, which we're just going to have to deal with as we go along. That should be okay. Thankfully, he's got no Weather Inducer on his team, so that's nice. Gonna guess that's kind of a standard Life Orb Starmie. It's what they generally run, and a defensive Ferrothorn of some variety. So with this in mind, I'm actually going to lead straight with my Weather Inducer. He's just going to go straight for the Heat round here, so I haven't got too much to fear. He could potentially just go for the Earth Power right off the bat. I'm not going to mind that too much. I'm just going to go for the Hidden Power because I really want to get rid of this balloon. It's going to be great benefit to my Salamence later. He's just going to take this opportunity to get up his Stealth Rocks. I'm not going to want to outstay my welcome now in case he does have the Earth Power. And so with that in mind, what could he possibly switch into? He's definitely not going to switch into his Ferrothorn directly. He could potentially switch in the Terrakion, which means possibly a good switch is actually just me to go straight for the Latias, although I can't really do a lot to the Heat round here, which is a bit problematic. Now this will be a good time for me to scout if he does indeed have the Roar, because if he stays in, essentially, then he has the Roar. Like, he's not going to stay and go for a couple of Lapnums. So I'm just going to go for a Calm Mind in case he actually does switch out. Sure enough, he's actually going to go straight for the Starmie. So this works pretty well, because now I've got one layer of Calm Mind off. A Stab Dragon Pulse will actually do a fair amount of damage, and we should be able to resist an Ice Beam quite nicely at this point. So I'm actually going to go for one more Calm Mind. Just going to book us up a bit. I think that what he's going to do is probably Scout with an Ice Beam. It's what people generally do. Sure enough, he's going to Scout it. That's honestly a fine amount of damage. Like, that's nothing I really can't take. That's going to be doing that in even less than half, so that's probably going to be about 17% damage. So what we can actually kind of do here is we can just go straight for a Dragon Pulse, and we can do a fair amount of damage to whoever wants to switch in. Crit on the Ferrothorn, which is kind of nice. Not really going to complain about that. Now we do have the problem of this thing though, because this resists pretty much everything I've got here. I am going to be having to go for a couple more Dragon Pulses. If he does have the Leech Seed Protect set up, then this is going to be incredibly problematic. So I'm going to go for another Calm Mind. He might just go straight for the Gyro Ball here. He's actually going to go for the T-Wave, which is probably a good play on his part. So that's actually going to hinder me quite a bit. Let's just go straight for another Dragon Pulse, do off as much damage as we can. Now he's going to reveal that he does in fact have the Leech Seed. Doesn't seem to have Protect though, which is kind of works again in my favor. I'm going to hope on max min damage this round, Oh, and unfortunately we have not got it. He's actually going to set up a layer of spikes now. Quite tragic. And now I honestly think that he's probably just going to stay in with his Fairy, maybe possibly sack it. Or alternately actually switch out to his Heatran. Either way, I can probably just get off one more Dragon Ball, so maybe deal a bit more damage. Or I could potentially just kind of go for the Roost. Heal up just a bit, because even with the Leech Seed, if he does stay in one more, then I should be able to still kill him with the Dragon Ball. So I'm just going to go straight for the Roost here, kind of predicting that switch to the Heatran. Because I really don't want to switch out right now. Oh god, that's actually really unfortunate. So now he's going to get up all of his layers of spikes. So I have no option here. I have to go straight for the Dragon Ball. So I'm not going to let him get up that last layer. That's a bit problematic. It's a bit worrying that he got up all those. Thankfully, we do have our Fortress on our team, though. We should be able to get up a Rapid Spin at some point, kind of predicting the switch. Possibly if a Terrakion switches in. We are still in our sturdy range, although that will be broken next time we switch in. But we should definitely be able to get this off at some point. And now he's going to switch into his Terrakion. So this is probably just going to go straight for the Stone Edge. I don't see it having any other reason to go for anything else, really. And with that in mind, what I could actually do is, if I go straight to my Cobalion, I can kind of scout and kind of predict the Stone Edge. And then if I make a double switch then I can find out if this guy is indeed choice locked. So that's what I'm actually going to do here. My Latias wasn't really accomplishing much there, so I'm going to kind of see what he wants to do. It's actually going to go for the X-Scissor, which is really weird. Okay, I'm not going to question it all that much. He did go straight for the X-Scissor now, though. So now that I've got my Cobalion in, the best play for him right now would be to go straight for the Close Combat. So with that in mind, I am going to switch back out to my Latias, and him switching there tells me that he is indeed choice locked. So that's really good. That means I can take out that Terrakion appropriately later. I can kind of just mess about with it. Haven't got much to fear, so that's really nice. Back into his Heatran right now. I'm just going to go straight for a Roost here because it's a good opportunity, and I want to keep this guy on as good health as I can. It's going to be pretty handy to take out the Brilliant and a couple of others. He's actually going to go for a Hidden Power Ice there, doing a pitiful amount of damage to me. That's really not going to hurt me. Worst comes to worst, I can actually just kind of Calm Mind style this guy out of here. So let's just go for Calm Mind once again, kind of scout what he wants to do. We'll get a bit more leftovers recovery, which is quite nice. And then we can decide on our next play following this. So he's actually going to go straight for the Salamence here. So good play for him right now would be go straight for the Dragon type move. And he could really lock himself into Outrage right here. So anticipating this, I think this is a good opportunity for me to send in my Fortress. Because if he goes straight for the Dragon move and he's indeed locked into it, as I predict he might be. Oh, he's going for the Dragon Dance, which is pretty bad. Okay, and I have given him Sun Powers, which is actually okay. We're actually in a very tight spot right now. We're gonna need to go for the Rapid Spin. Nope, that's things are going badly, guys. Oh no. Okay, well, okay. So he does have the speed boost. Now my Salamence is completely maxed out in speed. So what I'm gonna do here is go straight for the Outrage, because I'm completely maxed out. I'm Jolly Nature, max speed. We just are faster than him. That is fine. Now, I know that he does have the Heatran on his team. Thanks to the extra attack from the Moxie now, though, I'm not really going to fear it too much. We should be able to get through his Steel typing quite nicely. Definitely a 2-hit KO. So that is looking quite nice there. If he switches in anything else, it's going to take a hefty amount of damage. So let's just go straight for this Outrage here. Do off as much damage as we can to the Heatran. He's actually got the Hidden Power Ice, so he's just going to take me out there. That is fine. I'm not too upset that I actually lost that just there, because this actually gives me a very good opportunity to switch into my Victini and set up a Trick Room here. So this is actually a very nice opportunity here. So I'm going to go straight for this. Unfortunately, we're going to be taking a fair bit of hazard damage. Now, the best thing for him to switch into it would probably be the Terrakion or the Starmie. What I'm kind of predicting to do, he's not going to switch into Brilliant directly. That's very silly. So, anticipating this, I'm going to go straight for the Trick... Wait, where the hell did Earth Power... Oh my god. Okay, I wasn't paying attention there, but he does have Earth Power. Thankfully, we just lived that. Just barely, dear god. So, what are we going to want to do next? Well, I've got no reason really not to go for a Bolt Strike. I'll definitely take it clean out. If he switches in a Starmie or something, it's going to take hefty amount of damage. I can't go for the V-Create just yet. That's not going to work because it is the Heatran. I'm just going to go straight for the Bolt Strike to do a hefty amount of damage. That's going to take that back clean out there, so that is fine with me. Now then, he could go straight into his Brilliant Mate. Actually, just going to go straight for the Starmie, which is really weird because this is actually See, this is a Brave Nature Victini, so it does have slightly less speed, so thanks to the Trick Room, we are in a nice stand in here. So I can go straight from another Bolt Strike. That's going to take out the Starmie, just clean and utterly destroy it, so that's fantastic. We still have 2 turns left of Trick Room. He's really not sure what to do right now, so this is working incredibly well. Haven't got off a V-Create just yet. I probably should look into that. Well, let's see what he's going to want to do next. Now he's going to go straight for the Breloom, so depending on how the speed works, this is a Jolly Nature Breloom. Okay, we don't even need to worry about it because he surrendered, so that works just as fine. So that's going to be it for this week's Showdown Sunday. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Having a bit of a surrender fest this week, which is a bit unfortunate, but what are you going to do? I feel like I have demonstrated this team quite well into what it does, so which is quite nice. You kind of get the idea it is. It's a sun team that doesn't really rely too heavily on the sun, which is kind of nice and a bit refreshing. It means that if there's different weather on the field, this team is not utterly and totally destroyed. So that's actually really nice. And this is the first time as well I've ever used a sun team. Just ever. It's really not my thing, but I thought I'd try it just for a bit of variety's sake. And yeah, I had a bit of fun with this team, I really did. Only used it a few times, but it was still a fun team to use. It's all up on screen now, so copy it away to your heart's content. So there's all my EVs. And I will see you in the next video. Just remember, as I said in the last Showdown, we are doing a Showdown Extravaganza this week to ring out 5th gen of Pokemon with X and Y coming out next Saturday. So there's going to be Pokemon commentaries all of next week. Going to be using a lot of my favourite old teams, as well as an additional new team that I never got the chance to try. So I'm going to be showcasing all that over the next week. So that's it for this Sunday's video. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one tomorrow. Goodbye, and thank you for watching.